What is up? Hello my amazing people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're back, if you are new, welcome to my channel. I'm Shayna and I have another true crime case for you today. Just my usual disclaimer, this is all information that I have found online that I've compiled into a video for educational and entertainment purposes. And I have some good news today because this is a short story, that's number one. And number two, nobody dies. Hooray. As you guys know, I typically talk about some pretty dark stuff on this channel, but this one it's definitely weird and creepy, but certainly not as dark as a lot of the other content on my channel. So I'm excited to share this story with you. If you have any thoughts about this, please let me know down below. And thank you so much for joining me today. Let's get started. So we're going back to 2017. There is a couple named Jerome and Ashley Kennedy who are living in Pittsburgh with their 10-month-old daughter, and they live in the Mexican War Streets, which is a historical district of the city. Really nice brick front townhomes and tree-lined streets, and an area of the city that has a ton of stuff to do. Jerome and Ashley are living in a townhome, and they actually sleep in the same bedroom as their daughter. So the crib that she sleeps in is pretty much right next to their bed, not far away from their bed. And the bedroom that they sleep in is on the second floor of the home. And the two of them really liked the home that they lived in with their daughter. It was a nice area that they were happy with. They had been living for a few years, and they were really planning to at least start their lives in this area of Pittsburgh. So in the middle of the night, one night, Jerome wakes up to the sound of like scuttering, as though there was an animal or something in their attic. And to put it in perspective for you, like I said, their bedroom is on the top floor, so right above them is the attic. And they don't really keep anything in the attic at all. It's like a typical slanted attic that is like not easy to maneuver. Most people don't go up there for much, and they didn't keep anything in their attic. So he hears something scuttering around up there, and he thinks, okay, maybe it's just an animal or something. It's definitely weird because he hadn't heard anything before, but he just decides to go back to sleep. And over the next couple of weeks and months, he does notice that he keeps hearing this sound, but he doesn't know exactly what it is. And he had talked to his wife about it, and both of them were just assuming like, okay, it's probably some sort of small animal. So when they were woken up in the middle of the night by the scuffling sounds, they really didn't think much of it over time. But one night when the two of them and their daughter are sleeping in the bedroom, Jerome notices that there's like a flash of light that comes from the vent that's on their ceiling in their bedroom. And he's like, okay, something about this is weird, because the flash of light isn't just like a gleam of light. He can see a flashlight that's almost searching for a place to look down through the vent. And at this point, he's weirded out, and he decides to just go and look up into the vent. So he takes the vent covering down. He tries to peek up into the attic, but he doesn't see anything, and the sound stops. So he's like, okay, maybe I was just seeing things. I don't know exactly what that was, but it was enough to alarm him, to the point where he said to his wife, like, look, there's something that's not right about our attic. And she says, okay, I'm sure it's just something minor or something that can be explained away. Let's talk to our neighbor who is renovating the house next door. And their neighbor is a man named Robert Havrilla, who's a man in his 60s. He doesn't really bother anybody. He's really quiet, and he's doing a serious renovation to the house next door. So there are a lot of workers coming in and out. There's a lot of drilling. There's a lot of different this and that kind of things going on as they're renovating this house. And when the two of them talk to him, they say, look, we've been just hearing some strange noises in the attic. Have you guys been doing any work up there that maybe we should know about? Or have you heard of any animals and rummaging through the attic in your house? We're just trying to figure out what is going on. And Robert says, no, I haven't noticed anything, and it definitely wasn't the workers, because we haven't come on your side at all. So I don't know what it could be. It's probably just an animal. Like, don't stress about it. And the two of them are stumped. They're like, okay, especially Jerome. He's just confused as to how this could be continuing to happen night after night after night, and for him to be hearing sounds and seeing flashes, but for his neighbor to not have heard anything or noticed anything. And what he decides to do is to install a camera in his attic, because at this point he's either crazy or there's really something that's in his attic at night. So he goes out, he buys a camera, and he installs it in his attic right above where their bedroom is. And what he sees on this camera is absolutely disturbing. The day that he installed the camera, he actually didn't hear any sounds that night. So he's thinking, okay, maybe whatever was up there, the animal didn't come back that night. But he decides to check the camera footage anyway, because he is determined to get to the bottom of what is waking him up at night. And when he looks at the footage, he sees the partition that separates his house from Robert Havrilla's house slide to the side. And he notices that a figure starts crawling into the attic. And at first he can't tell exactly what it is, but as he continues to watch and the figure comes closer to the frame of the camera, he sees that it's a person. They have a drill in their hand and a wood plank, and he's just trying to figure out what exactly they are doing there. And as he continues to watch the footage, he realizes that it is none other than his neighbor, Havrilla, who is crawling into his attic. And he actually drills a tiny little hole on one of the boards that's right above where their bedroom is, and he lays there and he just peeks into this hole for 30 minutes. He lays there, and then he grabs his drill, he crawls back into his side, and he pulls the partition closed. And at this point, Jerome just feels absolutely, utterly shocked and violated and disgusted by what he has seen on this CCTV footage, because he knows that his neighbor was watching him that night and probably has been the source of all of the sounds the nights leading up to now. So he calls the police, and they come and look, and they can see that Havrilla has completely manipulated the wall that separates the two houses and the attics to the two houses. So he's literally made a tiny little hole that he can crawl through and spy on the family. And he had been doing this for a long time before Jerome figured it out. And there were multiple holes drilled onto the ceiling. And what's creepy is that the night of the footage that caught him spying on them, where he drilled the hole was right over the crib of their 10-month-old. Jerome and Ashley pieced together that when all of this started was when Ashley gave birth. So chances are Havrilla was crawling onto their side of the attic and spying into their home just to see their 10-month-old baby. That is so freaking creepy. As a parent, I probably would want to be spied on myself than have my child spied on and violated like that. And what's worse is that Havrilla knew that they were on to him. Like he knew that they were at least suspicious that something was coming in their attic at night. So for him to continue just shows the disregard for them and, you know, their safety and their peace of mind and their security in their own home. And he just didn't care. Like, he didn't care that they felt safe. He just wanted to spy on them. Now, the good news is no one got hurt from this. So Havrilla never actually trespassed in their home, which actually he did because the attic is still their home, but he never came physically into any other part of their home. He never confronted them. He never attempted to hurt any of them, which again is the only bright side to this story, but just super freaking creepy, right? So Havrilla was convicted of criminal trespassing and sentenced to 5 years of probation in order to pay the victims, who are Jerome and Ashley and their daughter, $2,245 in restitution. So this man doesn't seem like he actually went to jail for what he did, and that is unsettling. If I were the family, I would have wanted him to go to jail immediately. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about something that was a little lighter and a little less stressful, because when I do the research for all of my videos, I am able to disassociate to a certain extent, but at the same time, when you're reading and looking at the nitty-gritty details of stories and investigations and murders and crimes and horrible things that happen to people, it can over time build up and take a toll on you. And this one definitely creeped me out, and I've been checking my vents ever since, because super creepy, and that could happen to like anyone, right? But not only this, Havrilla actually drilled holes in the brick wall that separates their actual home. So like in the common areas of the home, Jerome noticed that there were little holes, drill holes all over, and he plugged them with tissue paper just so that Havrilla couldn't peek through. And when he asked his neighbor about this, Rilla basically said, oh yeah, we're just doing construction, it's just from the construction, sorry about that, nothing to worry about. But now Jerome is like, no, you definitely were using those holes to spy on us too, right? Like, just super creepy. It makes you want to just triple check your surroundings, and I encourage you to do that because you never know who is lurking in the dark. But that's all that I have for you guys today. I just, yeah, I don't know, hope you enjoyed. It's just a weird day. You ever have days where it's not a good day or a bad day, it's just a day and you just don't feel like yourself? I'm having one of those days. But I'm gonna try to make the best of it, and I hope that you do too. I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, depending on what time it is when you see this video. You know I will be back for you next week with another upload. If there's any recommendations that you have for me, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and I will be happy to look into any stories. And yeah, I guess that's where I leave you. You know what I'm gonna say? If you made it this far, you are loyal. You really are, and I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.